Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan. And yeah, you would have heard a pause there. I'm all by myself. Tom's had enough. He's packed it in after that. Forrest was out. But nah, I'm only joking. You're still there, Tom, aren't you?
I'm here. I'm Tom, a West Ham fan for my sins.
Hey, yeah, here's your podcast for everything not top six. Tired your team being last on match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve. That's bow change. Tom, what do we have for the listeners this week?
Well, this week, midweek, had no chill. Newcastle and Leeds went punch for punch like two heavyweight boxers. West Ham and Forest went at it like two drunk, toxic men outside of Wetherspoons in Slough. Stars like Semenyo, Thiago and Wilson shined for their teams, and Everton lost their damn minds. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working fine, but yeah, we know how each other are. We spoke like 2 days ago. How many times have you been to Slough and Wetherspoons, by the way, as well?
Never. Slough, I just have a really bad opinion about Slough.
No. The Slough and Wetherspoons.
Sorry to anyone out there in Slough, but
God, you can tell them overworked. Slough and Wetherspoons, the Wetherspoons and Slough, and then cool. Okay, let's get into the break and then get into the games because yeah, there's actually a lot of action to talk about this week.
Yeah, midweek. I feel like we've both lost our minds through this first week of January work.
Yeah, for real. I hope everyone else isn't feeling as stretched as we are at the moment. But cool, yeah, let's take a break and get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So Tom, there's only one place to start this week, isn't there?
Yeah, there was a truly batshit game at St James's Park. Newcastle 4, Leeds 3. This was just back and forth. Prime Barclays, like this will be one of those that is looked back on for years to come.
It's that, isn't it? It's like watching it. I was like, while watching the highlights, I was like, this just feels like a Prem classic all over. It almost like a basketball game at times where it's just like, yeah, we're going to go down the other end and score. We're going to go down the other end and score. But yeah, before we get into like the actual details of the game, just want to say like sad news about Kevin Keegan. Obviously, hoping he can get well soon from that. And yeah, not the best diagnosis, I guess, but fingers crossed all there. But yeah, I guess we can probably get into the game then after that. And I'm not gonna lie, Leeds looked really good for the first half hour or so.
Oh, the Leeds press early was absolutely causing Newcastle fits. Even before Aronson's first goal, there was I think Guimaraes gave the ball away after being pressed, and Newcastle were desperately trying to pass out from the back, and it was just causing them problems because Leeds were on them in a flash, and there were like one Newcastle player massively struggled in this game, and it's Malik Thiago. Like he's been good since he signed. He's probably been better than expected, I think, for a lot of people. I think quite a lot of fans probably don't know him because Serie A is not really well televised in the UK anymore these days. So a lot of people probably didn't really know too much about Malik Thiago when he came over. And yeah, he's been good, but this was a horror show from him last night.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? I was wondering why, when I was watching the highlights, why Match of Day made such a big deal of like it was a bad challenge for the yellow card. But then it was like, they're really pushing the point of what a dreadful first half he's had. Obviously, he gives away the pen. He's to blame for the goal, really. Well, he's definitely to blame. I don't know. Is it a missed kick? Or it just looks like he drops to the floor when the ball's in front of him. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he takes up a weird position for a centre-back that's like, he's like moved into kind of a defensive midfield position when there was a striker in his area of the centre-back pitch. So like, he looked uncomfortable where he was on the pitch, and yeah, he kind of like miss kicks or just like has a complete brain fart of what he's supposed to do with the ball. He doesn't, and it ends up doesn't really doing anything. No, and then just allows the Calvert-Lewin to just take it away from him and then slot it through to Aronson, and Aronson smashes. It's a good finish from Aronson, but it's a gift as well.
Yeah, that mistake was reminiscent of stuff that I saw you doing when we were playing five-side together. Just not knowing what to do with the ball, then falling over, curling up in a ball while someone runs down the other end and slots it home.
Yeah, except I would have gone back and bashed Aronson in the back. Like, I would have taken one for the team, but I suppose Thiago would have been sent off very early if he'd have done so. Like, yeah. Because that tackle on Justin was a sign of things to come for Thiago in this game. Like, it was just like, what are you doing, man? You're so far away, like, out of goal. You would never get into that ball. Like, you just was really, really, like, second best for that. And then Newcastle come back into it from that point. I think they woke up after going 1-0 down. They had chances, but they were second best until that point. And then they go up the other end of the pitch, and Harvey Barnes steps up again after a delightful touch from Voltemada. It's one of those that I don't think you really see when you're watching the TV in real time, and then you see the replay of Voltemada just laying it off perfectly. It's a small touch, but it just puts it right in the path of Barnes, and he smashes home.
Yeah, but do you think Leeds should be letting it get across their box that easily as well? I know it's a good touch to find him, but all that space to be able to roll it to him, and all the men are like round him, but no one's in like the centre to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like bouncing around their box. You would have liked one of your defenders to take control of that, because even before it gets to Voltemada, Gordon kind of does a keepy up over one of the Leeds defenders, he gets onto the bounce of the ball, he finds Voltemada touches it over to Barnes. It's like it's difficult when you're in the box. You would like your defender to be strong, but if one of them comes in and is a second late, then they give away a penalty sort of thing. So you do kind of see some like penalty box defending that leaves a lot to be desired these days.
Yeah, I guess everyone's scared to put their foot out, aren't they? Like you say, because if you give away the penalty, you're done. But yeah, talking about penalties, then Leeds go down the other end, get a pen, definite handball for you as well.
Yeah. It's one of those that, like, I think Thiago is falling down, but he's flailing his arm around at the same time. So I don't think you can have any complaints in this day and age.
Nah, not at all. Then Dominic Calvert-Lewin slots at home. Yeah, just that's the end of the half really there. And yeah, like you say, bad half for Thiago. But then Joelinton, who's been an angry boy throughout the whole game, makes it 2-2 early in the second half.
Well, just before that, he goes down thinking he deserves a penalty, but I thought he went down too easy. But it seemed to rile him up, because after that he was running around with steam coming out of his head. And yeah, his equaliser, got to give props to Lewis Miley for chasing that ball down, because I think it was Guimaraes who passed it out to him, and it was a really loose ball that probably a lot of players would have just let go out for a goal kick or something, because Lewis Miley had to bust the gut to get to it. Thankfully, there was no Leeds defender anywhere near him, because he was able to keep it in and then run back onto it and then pass it to Guimaraes, who makes up for that loose pass with an absolute beauty outside of the boot cross. It's just like, he's on his day, Guimaraes is one of the best players in the world, I think.
Yeah, he really is. You can't deny it this season as well, with his goal scoring form to go with it as well. Like, it's a beautiful cross, and the header itself from Joelinton is a thing of beauty as well, to be able to get into that corner. Like, I don't know why I love headers that much like that. I think it's probably because I'm bald as well, and I just think the art of heading needs to be there.
There's nothing more beautiful than a bullet header, and there's a segment in this NFL show, Good Morning Football, called Angry Runs, where they have a runner with the ball and he collides into someone, and this was an angry header. Joelinton took out his frustration of not getting the penalty, etc., and he was like, I'm going to batter this ball into the back of the net. There's no chance this is going anywhere but nestling in.
That's it, isn't it? I think after that, then Newcastle kind of were in the ascendancy, I think. Do you see the goal line scramble where Perry pulls off, I think, a double save, and then they hit the post as well?
It hits the post after, yeah.
It's crazy stuff, that. But then, Leeds kind of get against play to make it 3-2 with Aronson with, 3-2 now, with an absolutely lovely little trick and strike to, send the Leeds fans into ecstasy, I bet.
Yeah, he completely kind of wrong foots Sven Botman for that one, and squeezes it into the far corner, just gets it in any closer to that post, and it's probably hitting the post and either going across the line or coming back out, sort of thing. He found the perfect angle. He's
definitely found his finishing boots, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure Leeds fans are thinking that this is probably going to stop soon, because it's Brendan Aronson, but he's turned into that. It's weird. Leeds have gone through these phases. Nmecha scored 3 in 3. Calvert-Lewin scored 7 in 6 or something, and now Aronson stepped up to get 3 in 2. It's the goals are coming in bunches per player this season. It's a strange little phenomenon.
It is, really. But then Aronson's on the end of giving away the penalty. I felt it was a bit of a harsh penalty, but probably is. Do you think he's definitely in the box? That's the main thing I can say. But
He's definitely in the box.
but
I also think it's harsh, but it's a penalty in this day and age. Like, it's just one of those. I kind of fundamentally disagree with it as a penalty in the wider context of the game, but that's where we are in this day and age. So they are given that, like, it touches your hand as a defender in the box, and it's handball. I disagree that it goes against like the rule of handball. Like, you're not deliberately trying to like. Does that cross equal a like 0.75 goal scoring opportunity, which is what a penalty is?
Nah, not at all. Like, not even close. Yeah.
So, but I struggle to back penalties for that. But yeah, in this day and age, they are. And then Bruno steps up with his woke penalty run and slots home.
His woke penalty run. So true. But yeah, like I said earlier, his goal scoring form. I know quite a few. Well, not quite, but a lot of penalties as well. But yeah, you can't deny him doing it. And then the game just gets even madder towards the end. Like, I was at Sellers and just seeing like notifications coming through on my phone, and I was there like, oh my god, we're gonna have a lot to talk about here. But I was also like, what's going on? And then I thought Leeds, like, well done, kept the run going. Another a point away at Newcastle, I think, is a really good point, but Harvey Barnes takes that all away from him with the last kick of the game. I think once again Leeds probably need to be doing better with dealing with it in the box, and maybe your boy Perry should do better as well.
Yeah, I do think Perry might have done better. I think he kind of sees it late, with it obviously being hard and low and their bodies in the box, and obviously Barnes, props to Barnes, he's twisting and turning to find that like angle to like hook his leg around it. So I don't think it's like a howler from Perry, but you would have liked your goalkeeper to, because he does get fingers on it, like you would have liked stronger glove on there. But 112th minute from Barnes, they kept going. I agree with you. I think a draw probably would have been a fair result and a great result for Leeds to get out of there with a point after what was a heavyweight battle, punches going back and forth, goals galore sort of thing. But Barnes steps up and scores the latest goal in Premier League history, and
really?
You just kind of...
I didn't know that.
112th minute. I think the last one before that was 110 or so. But yeah, we're just getting more and more extra time these days, so that'll be broken at some point.
I was going to say, it's mental we're not really batting an eyelid at a 112-minute goal. It's kind of there like, yeah, that's just the standard now. When
ever since that Qatar World Cup, where we were getting like regularly 10 minutes extra time, and was like, okay, this is the new norm of FIFA football.
Yeah, for real. I mean, yeah, if we look at Newcastle, run of form's been amazing for them. Catapulted up the table, 3 wins, now into 6th. Could they be looking at European qualification once again? I mean, like we've said every week, or for quite a few weeks, that group of teams on like 27 to 33 or 34 even are just going to be trading places for the foreseeable, aren't they, until a little gap builds out.
Yeah, but I think we always felt that Newcastle had it in them. They didn't lose really anyone, and like they lost to Isak, but they've replaced them with Vis, and now they've got Vissa fits. They've got like the striker options. They've got the winger rotations that they can do. They've got players throughout. They've got a much more talented squad than they had last season, where they had an incredible 11. So I feel like we always throughout the season were frustrated with them. I'm sure Newcastle fans were very frustrated with them, feeling like they were underperforming in a lot of those early games. And you're right, obviously that 10 group, 11 group teams where they just trade in places each week, going up and down 5-6 spots, whatever. It all change next week, but you know, I always felt that Newcastle had the potential to quite easily get to the top of that group with a good run of form.
Yeah, I'm only saying that they're going to change places constantly because it makes Palace being 13 sound a bit better. But yeah, I mean,
you quite quickly fell to the bottom of that, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, also Leeds, first bump in the road in a while for them. But I mean, after that run, they're now 8 points clear of the drop. So yeah, hopefully they can bounce back moving forward.
Yeah, I don't think any Leeds fans, and from what I've seen and spoken to, I don't think they're taking this one too disheartening. They went toe for toe with a Champions League quality team, and given where they have been in the league this year and the run of form that they're on, they obviously would have loved to get something, of course. But you know, sometimes, and I think they're in a position now where they can be like, right, well, we just lost to bit of magic in the last minute sort of thing, we can still there's still plenty of positives to take from this game for Leeds.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, I think that's everything needed for that game. Should we move on to the London Stadium? I'm going to put my points out because I don't know if you're actually going to want to say anything or just get angry at everything. But
well, I was hoping you had points on Forest because I was just going to plead the fifth and say no comment for the next 10 minutes. So,
yeah. Well, my points really are more about both teams. In all honesty, like I said, a couple of days, 3-4 days ago, whatever. I was really looking forward to sitting down watching this game, like a big relegation 6-pointer, expecting a lot of fight, expecting not a lot of quality in the game, but a lot of drive. But it was a really limp game. Like, I feel like both teams really didn't show much, maybe down to nerves, but even like nervy relegation games has always been like, you feel like a bit of something. But I didn't feel anything in this game. It'd be different, obviously, for everyone that's not in neutral in the game, and obviously Forest fans will be ecstatic. You'll be like well annoyed with basically the offside probably is the thing that cuts you the deepest, ain't it? But I was just expecting a bit more from this game from both sides. It felt almost like a championship affair, if I'm being brutally honest.
Let me tell you, I'll read off the text that I sent to Alex just 5 minutes before the game because this felt like a dress rehearsal for the championship. So I'm just going to paint the scene for you. My text was, they're blasting drum and bass to a half-empty stadium, showing a highlight reel of terrible goals with some limp fireworks and fire show. And it was just like the feeling that I had before the game was just like, right, this very much feels like like preparing for next season.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't want to like have a go about it being a half-empty stadium because even Sellers last night was nowhere near as full as it usually is. I understand like people have been put out a lot over the Christmas period to go to games, and the weather's been absolutely diabolical as well. So asking people to do a late night on a Tuesday, Wednesday, it is a lot. But still, it just didn't. I didn't feel anything in this game at all.
No, and I mean after Saturday's game, I don't really like. I will go and I will support the team, but I don't really blame people for staying away on what was a freezing cold, rainy Tuesday night in January. Like a lot of people travel in. I'm sure they didn't want to get like those trains and everything. So as much as I am of the opinion that I will turn up and I will support, I will voice my frustration, I will voice my support, and that I don't really blame people for not turning up, but. In this game, man, like West Ham are rubbish this season. We all know that. We don't need the referees taking things into their own hands.
Yeah.
This was a shit game between two defensive teams who don't really have a lot of confidence, don't really have a lot of quality on the ball. There's a couple players here and there, Gibbs White, your Bowens, etc., that can do something. But there's a reason these two teams are 17th, 18th, and have been the majority of the season in and around the relegation zone. Like they're not great cohesive units, and they've got two managers who will prioritise defending the box. So any transition was always a little bit slow in this game. There was always met with, right, the other team have got 8 men back now in their box, so trying to find the holes is harder. There's sort of half efforts that go wide or hit the bar or whatever. So this was not a quality game at all. We get the early goal for a very lucky own goal from against the run of play. Really, it was like the second time we'd gone forward. We had one corner before that was absolutely terrible. Didn't beat the first man. We have no one that can take corners now that Nuno has sent James Ward-Prowse to Alaska, and he's frozen him out. He came in and went, "You're not for me, Ward-Prowse," which I don't blame, but we've had no one that can take corners since then.
You can't blame him, but he's also sat there on a big salary as well, ain't he? That's the thing, because I would have taken him just as a set piece specialist to have on the bench, but I think
if this was the NFL, you're bringing on Ward-Prowse to take all of your set pieces.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, the disallowed goal changes everything.
Yeah,
and Somerville so desperately needed that goal as a player.
That was big. Like watching it, I was like, oh, they've done it. Like 2-0, Forest are not coming back from that. Like I imagine there must have been like relief around the stadium, feel relief on the players. For that to then be taken away is a gut punch. And yeah, as soon as that happened, everyone knows what's going on. Like everyone knows what's going to happen. It was going to not. Forest were going to go down the end and score, and it was going to be either a draw or lost by. Yeah, just how.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. We needed that second goal. The relief that everyone felt when that went in. Obviously, we know in this day and age you can't celebrate goals because VAR will find a way to chalk off a goal, especially if it means something to anyone. And this, I just don't feel like it's offside. Maybe I'm out of touch with the rules of offside. They've changed them. There's so many addendums to the rules of offside that I'm just so like lost with it these days. But the last I checked, if a Forest player plays the ball purposefully and it lands at a West Ham player, then it's not offside, which is what happened with Milenkovic kicking the ball and it landing at Castellanos' feet. But they found a way to rule it out. They didn't find a way to rule out Vert's goal last week, of course, against Fulham, because we know there's a bias. But you're 100% right. As soon as that gets chalked off, it's a matter of time. Dominguez gets a flicked header that loops over Frodo Baggins. Sorry, I mean Carl Walker-Peters.
It was a really weird goal, wasn't it? Like, so I was like, how's it looped in? And that, like, it changed direction to then loop in over everyone that way, and it was just a bit like, oh, that's not what you want.
It's looped in over like the smallest player on the pitch. I don't really know the point of putting Carl Walker-Peters on the line. Like, I know you don't put your tallest players on the line, but
at least a medium player.
It barely covers half the goal. Like, it's a bit pointless. And yeah, this game kind of there were a few chances after, but we never really looked like scoring. And then the ref took it into his own hands and VAR took it into his own hands because the ref didn't give it. Forest weren't appealing for it. It's just everyone's gone to go get the ball. There's a clash of about 5 people, and Gibbs White got a knock to the head, and they've decided that it's a penalty. But I, again, fundamentally disagree with this being a penalty. I remember it came in a couple of years ago. There was that Man United Onana one against Wolves, I think.
Yeah, that's when he clapped him and it wasn't given, was it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, and then after that they were like, actually, this should be a penalty now, and they've kind of given some of them since then, but it's definitely not consistently given this.
No, 100%. Like I said, I've texted you in between all the dick pics I was sending you. Like, it looks harsh, but it's like it's similar for me, like the one you said earlier. In this day and age, it probably is going to be given as a pen now. Cause it just didn't seem like enough contact. It almost like seemed more of a slap than a punch to the face. Do you know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
like, what can you
slow it down? You slow it down, you make it sinister. Like it's the one thing I really dislike about VAR is they just slow what is a very fast-paced game. Something that happened in a split second, they're looking at for 3, 4, 5 minutes and looking at still images, going, well, his hand is connected to him, so he must have punched him. And it's like, come on, guy, like. We're destroying the game week by week at this point, in my opinion. So bring on the Championship until they announce that they're going to have VAR in it.
Yeah, but just to touch on Forest, I mean, massive win for them. Morgan Gibbs White puts the penalty away to pretty much win it in the last minute. Gives them that buffer of 7 points now.
I mean, Forest will stay up because there are 3 teams worse than them. They were poor in this game as well. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Don't make no mistake about it. Like last year, we stayed up because there were 3 teams worse than us. That's Forest this season.
Yeah, that's what I mean about it. It wasn't just you. I was saying were like limp. Both teams in this game were limp, and that didn't still fight from them. And I think it is worrying a bit for Forest that they couldn't really turn up for this game. I don't know. Like I said, maybe nerves still, but. They do have the quality of player where you're there like, you really shouldn't be in this position, I don't think. Like, I can look at West Ham's squad and be a bit like, okay, I can kind of see why you're in this position. Because if Bowen's marked out of a game, you're going to be in trouble. But with Forest, you feel like they have enough players in that squad to be doing a bit more. It's
a Forest squad that finished 7th last year and made improvements. It didn't particularly lose many people. It lost Alanga, and that was pretty much it out of their starters, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting someone.
Obviously, AFCON makes a difference, but really, should Dyche be doing a better job, do you think? It might be worth hearing from any Forest fans out there.
I think Everton fans will be screaming at us and going, "This is what we were reduced to for what the 3 years that he was there. He'll keep you up, but it will be poor, and that will be the maximum achievement. I don't see Dyche taking Forest back up to top mid-table or anything like that. I think it will be a couple of seasons he's there of keeping them up."
Yeah, I mean, it's all just on that European run now for Forest, so yeah. I mean, there's nothing more really to touch on that game. I want to say fingers crossed for you, mate, but it's looking a bit bleak at the moment, ain't it?
Yeah, as I said, we got 1 point from the 12 points available that we needed in our best run of the season, our best potential run of the season. So yeah, I have resigned myself to the fate.
At least you haven't got 2 London derbies coming up in the next 2 games.
Moving on to Semenyo's farewell tour.
Yeah, mate, it was. There was stats. I think it was his birthday yesterday as well. And,
was it?
Yeah, it was his 26th birthday or something. And yeah, obviously signed off in great fashion for Bournemouth. Just before we get into the game as well, can we talk about Thomas Frank Cup stuff? Because that's hilarious.
I honestly thought it was AI this morning. My brain is so fried these days of just being like, I don't know what's true. This surely was not true. Like, surely he looked at the cup, or just why would there be an Arsenal Cup? Obviously, they played there last week, didn't they? Yeah,
that was it. Because that was the thing that I was like, exactly the same as you. Like, gotta be AI. How would that ever happen? And then when it clicked, they're the last away team there. I was like, But then also, would you use leftover cups just in the changing room? I don't even think I would do that.
Someone said this years ago that Thomas Frank looks like he kind of smells, and and you cut. Well, you don't bathe, so he just has that kind of look about him that he's just like he's gone for a run and not showered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
That kind of guy who turns up in the office who's like, mate, you went for like a 5K at lunch, and now I'm in a meeting room with you this afternoon. It's not particularly pleasant in here, is it?
Got some proper.
He gives me that vibe. It's like, stop cycling to work and not showering, Thomas Frank. It doesn't surprise me that he uses like cups lying about.
Yeah, it's just weird.
He's recycling.
It's weird. I would love to know how it's gone down. But firstly, it's Spurs inside and Tottenham inside. It'd be interesting because he's got to be done now. I know it sounds so stupid, but the run of form and actually, why are we talking about Thomas Frank? Fuck, we don't care about any of that shit. So
no, move on.
Yeah,
move on to the big story of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So Tell's open to score, and I think Bournemouth were caught napping to start the game. 5 minutes in, would you agree?
Yeah, again, poor defending from James Hill, who's come into the team in recent weeks. He's sort of getting a bit of a run because they might be rotating, but they also feels like they've lost a little bit of patience with Diakite, so they gave Hill the start, but that was poor from him and from Petrovic as well. I think he should do better. Yeah,
I think he should have had that covered because just the distance it's out and where it is on the pitch, you just think, surely we've got to have that. It does go through bodies, but they're not like close bodies. There's like enough space for him to be able to see the ball. So yeah, I think just napping with that. But then Evan Nilsson's heard all Semenyo news in the last 2 games. He said, "I'm going to put the team on my back."
Mate.
Makes it 2 from 2. That was a proper bullet header, that one as well. Like even more of a bullet one than
that one. I don't think that's a bullet header. I think he's leapt like a fish and knocked it up. That's a bit more loopy. It's not as loopy as Dominguez's one, but it's loopier than Joe Linton's bullet header. It's just got. I think Tavernier gets such good whip on his ball, on his crosses.
That's why I'm thinking it's got his head.
Yeah, that's the thing. All Evan Nilsson needs to do is kind of just guide it or make get a little touch on it, and it just sort of flashes off his head and into it. But yeah, good. Again, Bournemouth attack well.
Yeah, 100%. Then Creepy makes a 2-1 after a Spurs mess up at the back. They're 10 pot. They can't play out from the back, so I don't know why they try. But yeah, do you think Creepy's going to be getting more time moving forward with Semenyo looking like he's on his way out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that Creepy can kind of play anywhere across the front 3. Obviously, filled in for Evan Nilsson for a time there earlier in the season. You've also got Clivert in and around there. I mean, Adley, I don't necessarily think they'll be desperately trying to find someone to replace Semenyo. I think they kind of knew that he was probably leaving and made a couple of signings in the last transfer window. they might still, obviously, you've lost a quality. You're going to lose a quality player. It hasn't happened at the time of recording, but so they might still be looking out for it, but they might also go, well, we might hold on until summer and reevaluate all the sort of the situation. I don't think they're desperately in a need to bring in an outside replacement.
Oh, it's harsh though. It's going to be harsh on the fans because, again, what was it, like 56, 60 odd mil for him, and not replacing him, and he has been their talisman this season. If they kind of just wane in like that 15th to 12th position with us for the rest of the season, you think the fans probably get a bit angry at it with how much potential the season started with?
I mean, yes, but I think we kind of also expected them to finish around there. Yeah. So whilst they can...
Yeah. That was our prediction, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they had a really good start to the season, but it's not because of the attackers and the other attackers. Like Semenyo had a drought of like 11 games, and the other, like, they were still scoring goals in that period. It's defensive issues. If I was a fan of Bournemouth, I wouldn't mind them spending that money on a replacement for a solid central defender, because I think from all the sounds of it, Senesi is going to run out his contract in the summer as well. So you're already going to need someone. You're going to hope Diakite can step up. They've got another young centre back that I can't remember the name of, but and then James Hill, who's probably not quite good enough for this level. So I wouldn't, if it was me, I'd be like, right, well, obviously we're going to dip a little bit in our attack if we lose Semenyo, but really we need to be upping our defensive ceiling as well. So like we're not conceding as many, because even in this game they win 3-2, which I think one of us predicted was going to happen, because it was like, well, we know there's going to be goals in Bournemouth games. They can't defend.
Yeah, but they shouldn't really be conceding 2 to Spurs either. But yeah, I mean, they nearly conceded 3 to Spurs, but with the ref giving the pen for Van der Ven just supermaning himself into a defender for some reason. Yeah, he's an absolute starfish to try and look for the contact. And yeah, it was funny watching Iraola replicate it after, where he's like, look how far his legs gone out and stuff. Like, always good, but good jokes for a manager to do that shit. But it's so weird, and then big man to do that as well, to just dive. It's so weird. But yeah, can't really shit on equaliser though, can we?
No, bicycle kick from a defensive midfielder, can't knock it really. Yeah. But I'm glad that Tottenham lost, because Semenyo wanted his goodbye goal, and it was a beautiful goal. Absolutely smashed it, got whip on it as well. Like 95th minute. You couldn't have written a better story for Semenyo if that it was to be his last game, which it does sound like it is at the time of recording. Yeah,
100%. Getting that goal sends Vitality mad, and then also I think he got subbed off, so he got applauded at the end of it. So it is all tied up in a neat, tiny little bow for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Anything else you want to touch on that game? I think we went into a bit of depth, a bit of detail about like him leaving and everything, but I'm sure we might have a transfer special or something later on in the month, once we've had a break from doing non-stop shows.
Yeah, let's move on to the Thiago show, or Brentford 3, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, can you believe? Yeah, this is Brentford's first home Premier League midweek victory.
Yeah, they said that, and I was like, how's that happen? Like, they've been in the league for years now.
Ages, yeah. I didn't know they had that like monkey on their back. Like, I can't believe no one said it. But, well, they must have. I've just never taken it in. But yeah, with this, I just think it was just pretty much a battering, really. I think Sunderland got a bit undone by giving up chances, and Brentford took those chances that Sunderland have usually been able to throw themselves in front of and like defend like heroically. But it maybe just felt like a bit of a game too far for them, this one.
Yeah, so I watched the first half of this one in full before watching the Newcastle Leeds game, and Brentford looked composed and confident. Like, they knew their chances were going to come at some point, and with the form that they've been in, they looked confident that they were going to take them. So even when they missed chances early, or they had them saved or blocked, etc., it didn't really faze them. Like, Thiago had a couple of chances, and he's just like, okay, I'll get them eventually. There's a lot of game left. Whereas you look at other teams, someone doesn't get their chance, you see the frustration and the confidence go down, etc. Brentford just don't have that monkey on their back at all. They've got that they've got confidence just oozing right now. And from a Sunderland point of view, I don't think they were bad going forward. They did have a threat all game, but they just weren't their usual selves in defence. As you said, like what we've come to know Sunderland as, the last-ditch blocks, making it really hard to find space in the box to get their shots away, wasn't really there in this game.
No, it wasn't. But anyway, going into the detail of it as well, Thiago gets off the mark. It's just shit-hot finishing. It's really like class Premier League finishing. It's blowing me away, really. I'm so surprised with it. Like that one, the first one makes him the joint highest Brazilian in. Oh my god, I can't get my words out. Joint highest scoring Brazilian in the Premier League for a season, and we're only in January, which is crazy. And
then he goes and does it. But in that first one, Mukiele loses the ball. Yarmoliuk sees it immediately and sets Thiago through, and he just rounds the keeper and slots home. That's what I'm talking about, the confidence.
Yeah.
The confidence of Thiago to go, I'm not going to take this first time, I'm going to take it around the keeper. Ends up taking it at a really tight angle and just he calmly passes it in.
Mate, but it was like that in the Everton game as well, wasn't it? Just like he's 1-on-1, he's like, yeah, he's just going to score this. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
you knew when he was 30 yards out and got the ball, I was like, he's scoring. There's no doubt about it.
Then we have where it all probably goes wrong for Sunderland. We have the penalty. No doubt with the penalty.
Yeah, I do think it was a penalty, but it was a god-awful penalty from Lefebvre.
You can't be doing Panenkas when you're losing. I don't care. You just can't. The only person that's ever done that...
I just don't think you should be doing Panenkas unless you are like a top 5 player in your position in the world.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just don't Lookman, Welbeck, Lefebvre. You just look like an absolute muppet if it doesn't come off.
Yeah, you do. The commentator on Match of the Day was so harsh in his being like...
He was fuming at him.
Yeah, basically being like all those Sunderland fans that have travelled down midweek to get that in return. But yeah, I mean, it's a nail in the coffin, that really, isn't it? Like, I think if you're a Sunderland fan, you see that, you're just there like, I'm going to go to the bar for the rest of the game because I know what's coming.
Yeah. I mean, Lefebvre is usually so reliable from the spot as well, and so I'm sure Sunderland fans were confident when he stepped up. But maybe the weather was taking its toll because it was pissing it down in that game.
The bit of me does think, and the Panenka maybe is a bit of evidence towards it. But do you think Sunderland kind of underestimated Brentford a bit in this game?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good shout. Like
they've gone toe-to-toe with like bigger, well, what would be said like bigger, like top 6 teams, and they've been like, okay, we've like got points against them. Maybe we don't have to worry too much about Brentford, but coming up against them, reliable, proven Premier League team that's in shit-hot form, I think they just got on. That's why I mean, like, it was a game too far for them. If this was maybe on a weekend, they would have had more preparation to think about it, taken a bit more time, but it just felt like they weren't really at the races with it. But Brentford took full advantage of that, and Thiago just can't stop scoring.
Yeah, it's also Sunderland on the road as well, like midweek games sort of against not necessarily fancied opposition. Some of them might not have got up for it the way that they have done at times this season, sort of thing. So I think you're spot on, but Brentford don't care. No. They just don't care. They're just focused on they're such an like unfancied, unheralded sort of team. There's nothing like glitz and glamoury about Brentford. They just go about their business so well, and like even Thiago, that man has had a tough life, and he looks far older than 24 years old.
He's 24. Jeez.
He's 24 years old. That man looks. He's going for the bald head beard look that we are, but we are many years his senior. But yeah, I mean, and then he gets the second one and makes him the most goals in a Premier League season by a Brazilian.
See, it's hard to say
in January. It is actually. There's too many words in there for some reason.
Wait, with that stat, I was like, what about Diego Costa? And I realised, oh yeah, he's Spanish.
yeah, he ditched his Brazilian heritage.
Yeah, but yeah, and then Brentford get the third. Can you pronounce this geezer's name? Because I have struggled.
I think it's Yarmoliuk.
Yarmoliuk, okay. Yeah, I mean, game's over at that point, but he still smashes it home from the corner. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just finds the space in that one. The ball falls to him and he smashes it home. Simple stuff. Brentford 3-0 at that point.
Could have been 5 or 6 really to Brentford at this point, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, there's like Lewis Potter hit the bar with a free kick. Kevin Schade smashes the bar before Thiago's second, and Damsgaard hit the post late on. So definitely could have been 4 or 5 in this one. But, you know, Brentford march on.
Yeah.
5th in the league.
Yeah, they're flying. I can't believe it. For the state some of my Brentford fans' mates were in, like, before Christmas saying they're not going to go to games anymore. It's awful. To be in Europa League places is mad. But yeah, a bit of a blip for Sunderland. No winning, 5 now. And they're going to lose their unbeaten home record when Palace come up on the 17th, hopefully.
When Palace limp up.
Yeah, for real. Cool. Okay, should we move on to the West London derby then?
Yeah, Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. Fulham benefited from an early red card from Mark Cucurella, just absolutely losing his shit at Harry Wilson.
Mad, right? Complete head loss from basically all of Chelsea and Marco Silva as well. So this game's kind of defined by the red card and Harry Wilson, isn't it, if we're being honest? Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wilson proper frustrated him. All he's doing is holding him off with his arm, and Sideshow Bob decides to see red and just grabs on his arm and is yanking it down. He's like pulling at a pinata. It's like, what are you doing, Cucurella? He's through on goal as well, so it's not even like it's in the middle of the middle of the park and there's loads of players around them or whatever, and it might have just been a yellow. Harry Wilson's through on goal and probably going to get a shot away, so you're definitely going to go off if you do that.
It's clear red, and then was it 3 Chelsea players get yellow cards out of it, and Marco Silva also gets a yellow card out of it? It's like, how can such a black and white decision cause so much fucking trouble?
I'm not really sure why Marco Silva talked himself into a yellow, given the red card was for the Chelsea player. All the yellow cards were for Chelsea players. It's like, what are you doing, Marco? Out. Like, you benefited massively from this situation. Chill out, man. Just like go sit down. You've put yourselves you've got in a great position to go on and win this game, because it was around like 30 minutes that this happened, and then Fulham started having some sighters from Wilson, Smith Rowe. Later on, there was one from Kevin as well. There's a Wilson offside goal just before half time. Again, sort of studs offside, really. Yeah. It's so super close, but you know, to the letter of the law.
You gotta hope Fulham are going to be getting some of those, because they had a few chalked off with that offside now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, they eventually get their, I think, rewards, in all honesty, with Jimenez header into the bottom left corner. Chalobah,
another angry header. Another angry bullet header. This was Raul's bread and butter.
Always wide when he does a header after his skull fracture. It is always a bit.
That's all right. He's got the skull cap. He's got his padding.
No, he didn't have it for this. He only had an Alice.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. That's
really?
A bit wide for that. I think after that, Chelsea kind of not get their shit together, but have a bit of pressure. Probably Fulham sitting back a bit more. Delap gets puts one away off the post from a corner, and Sanderberger's
ball watching for that.
Yeah,
I think because he's supposed to be with Delap, and he kind of just is watching the ball go over and watches it hit the post, and then watches Delap just absolutely free, who's lost Berger, and just taps at him.
Yeah, and I think if you're Fulham fans, and you got to be frustrated because you're in the perfect position to win this London derby and take like all the plaudits. And there was a bit of Chelsea pressure after that, but all the momentum really throughout the game was kind of with Fulham, I think. And Harry Wilson goes and scores a pretty classy goal, and he's definitely my flavour of the month at the moment. He is. Him and
Thiago. He's already a shoo-in for our team of the season at the end of the year. For me, I obviously still plenty of time to go. He might completely fall off, but how good he's been over these last couple of months has just been sensational. The take for this winner is beautiful, and then the finish is sublime. There's a small deflection on it, but it's still just the take and finish. He just does the defender completely and finds the back of the net. He can't do wrong.
He really can't.
Old Harry Wilson.
Mate, I told you, he's giving me Messi like vibes, look and the way he plays. But yeah, a massive win for Fulham there. Big take all the plaudits with the derby win. And I mean, if Chelsea are your rivals, if you ever get a win over them, it must feel fucking good.
Yeah, must love battering Chelsea.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, should we move on to the draws then for the other 14 teams? Starting
Yeah.
with Burnley 2, United 2. Were you shitting it a bit, mate? Were you shitting it when Burnley were above you in the table?
Yeah, I was like, for fuck's sake, like this is just what I need is Burnley to beat Man United. I would have been howling at my brother-in-law to who's a United fan. He can't do one thing, mate.
Mate, I took
Couldn't beat Wolves, can't beat Burnley. Like
when I was leaving the game, I took a screenshot of when Burnley were ahead. And I was going to send it to you, but I was like, I don't need to kick him when he's down any more than I'm doing.
Don't worry, I already saw it.
Yeah, but it was good seeing Burnley, like, they were on top for quite a bit of this game as well, weren't they? I think they really put United, not very much to the sword, but they stayed in the game throughout. Bizarre, heaven own goal.
Yeah, I was going to say they benefited off that freaky own goal. It's a cross that just loops off heaven and completely does the keeper's got no chance with it. And then you know, a bit of back and forth. I think Burnley kind of do sit back a little bit, but they kind of felt like they made some good attacks. But from then on, I think it's pretty much United. And like there's like 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys and Estev. They were putting their bodies on the line. Fair play to them. They were going for, like, they were desperately holding on. It wasn't like they were getting absolutely battered, but they were like right. They had something to defend, and they were going in for all of these tackles all across the pitch. Yeah. I'm not saying that they were like 10 men in the box, parking the bus. Yeah. I'm just saying like they were right. We have something to hold on to. Yeah. Obviously, it lost it towards the end, but
no, I think in the first half, United probably had the better chances, but Burnley had their own. Like you said, it wasn't like, oh, we're holding on for dear life here. I think the beginning of the second half, they were holding on for dear life when Sesko gets the first goal, and then, yeah, it seems like they're under the pump, and, yeah, he gets the second. But then I didn't expect Burnley to respond so quickly with such a stunner from Anthony as well, curling it in. Like, I think when Burnley went 2-1 down, I think in my head and most neutrals, and I guess you're hoping in your head that's Burnley done. They're not going to get one back. They're not going to get anything out of this game. United probably going to win it 3-1. But a big point for Burnley to be able to be like, yeah, we're not done here. We're going to still get something out of this game. Like, I didn't see them doing that when we played was it at the beginning of December, end of November, whenever it was. Just like, they seemed like they were down and out, but they've shown some fight to be able to get points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, they've probably hit a Man United team at the right time as well. Someone like obviously they're in a bit of chaos as well, and I think Burnley were able to take confidence from that. They were able, like Marcus Edwards was good in this game and has been flashing his quality in recent weeks. And I think obviously Anthony gets the goal. It is a stunner, but he's probably been a bit quiet after what was a really good start of the season from Jadon Anthony. He kind of tailed off into what we were a bit worried about at the start in the pre-season, when we were like, if Burnley are gonna make a fist of staying up, they're gonna need Jadon Anthony to step up, and they're gonna need Marcus Edwards to realise the potential that has been touted for years, kind of thing. And they showed it in this moment. And Marcus Edwards, I think, has played quite well in recent weeks. But yeah, it's still a really good point. Obviously, there's a gap opened up between us and Forest, so it's Burnley and West Ham battling for positions at the moment that don't really matter too much in the end of the day. But there's definitely a better feeling, I think, at Turf Moor than there is at the London Stadium right now about whether they can make a fist of staying up and potentially close that gap based off of recent results.
Yeah, I mean, not to shit on you, but I'm more interested. Well, not more. I have more faith in Burnley getting closer to Forest at the moment, just with the way that there seems to be some fight. I mean, you're probably going to get a rocket up the arse the next few games and get back into it, but yeah, that Forest game was not the one to watch. Cool. Anything else from Burnley United, or should we go on to Everton Wolves?
Let's go on to the head loss.
It was massive head loss. I had to double check it when I came out of the game, because I saw 2 red cards, and then I checked in the Premier League app and it only showed 1 red card, and I was like, why is this app so bad? And then I went to Sky Sports, it's like, oh, there are 2, not Sky, BBC Sports, like, oh, there are 2 red cards. And yeah, it's just hard to believe, but yeah, I think the Great Escape's on, mate. I think Wolves are I may have said Burnley, I think Wolves are the one that are going to make it out of the bottom 3.
Yeah, I mean, they look so much more confident they did 3-4 weeks ago. The recent run of results that they've been able to get, those couple of draws, those like that win against us sort of thing. Mateus Mane again stepping up to scoring back-to-back games. He was I didn't realise it at the time, but he was Wolves' youngest Premier League goal scorer with his goal on the weekend against us.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just looks like the bollocks, really. Like, he just absolutely looks like he suits this level of football so well. I hope he stays at Wolves and tears up the Championship for them if they do go down.
I think it'd be a good year for him, wouldn't it? But I think he's going to get taken by, like, weirdly enough, taken by like an Everton or someone in that.
But that's the thing. I'm thinking back to Tyler Diblin last season, and I think Mane is much better than Tyler Diblin was last season.
Yeah, 100%. Like, Tyler Diblin, whenever I saw him play live, I think he did score against us actually, but he never like took charge of a game, whereas Mane is taking charge of games for Wolves by like the scruff of the neck. He's getting them up the pitch, he's creating chances for them. Like, he is making a big difference. But I mean, we kind of skipped ahead anyway. If we go to the opening with Michael Keane sweeping home from a corner. What was it, a corner or free? I can't remember what it was. But
I think it was a free kick. But yeah, he kind of just sticks a foot out, I thought. I don't think it's really sweeping home. I think he's just kind of like uses the pace on the ball to guide it into the top of the net. Like, well, no, it's a centre-back just like, hey, I'll just get if I just angle my foot on this right, I don't think he's sweeping it home.
Well, no, I thought first, I was like, he's fucking shinned it into the top corner and lucked it. And I saw it, he's made good connection, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he sweeped it home like a prime striker. That's what he did.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The one Everton player that I want to call out is Irabunam. I thought he was just everywhere in this game. He was causing so many problems. Similar to Mane for Wolves, he was carrying Everton up the pitch. He was like, he had a bad shot at one point, but he was making loads of tackles and getting back, doing his defensive duties as well. He's obviously been someone that's been touted for quite a while. He was probably involved in a bit of a PSR swap when he left Aston Villa for Everton. So one of those sort of things, but really talented player and looked like one of the best players on the pitch in this one.
Yeah, I had my notes on him as well, but I was going to call him Eric Booner after my favourite curry.
I was going to wait until you tried to pronounce Irabunam.
Oh God, I was waiting all day for that one. Yeah, but there were lots of half chances for both teams throughout the game, I thought. But yeah, like we've always said, Mane scores a goal that isn't a goal that's like expected of a kid just coming into the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice move from Jorgen Strand Larsen as well to kind of drop deep and then release him, and then really composed finish from Mateus Mane. He's just looking so confident as well. Like, even earlier in this match, he had a sighter, didn't connect with it well, sort of thing. But he's got that air of confidence that comes with youth as well. I think Rob Edwards said last week or so that he's probably like the best player to have in the squad right now because he's untouched by the sort of the pressure of the struggles, etc. He's not someone who's been brought in for any money. There's not really been any blame on him for the early part of the season because obviously he wasn't in the team and such, where all the other Wolves players looked like they had the weight on their shoulder throughout that period where they didn't get a win, sort of thing. Mateus Mane came in, smile on his face, like just playing his style of ball, running the game from midfield, and now he's adding goals to his game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, ironic because there's no untouched kids around you.
Hey, I'm not the Catholic Church now. Come on.
I love it. Cool. Okay, let's move then into the head losses because it's brilliant. When I was leaving Palace, I saw there was a red card for Keane, and I was like, I didn't read it properly.
Again.
I was like, is he pulled on his shirt and he's got sent off? No, pulling. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Michael Keane is a racist, apparently. He's decided to pull Arokadare's braids. I just like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? You don't get away with that kind of dirty crap in football anymore. Like, if you're pulling someone's hair, you're gonna get sent off, and rightfully so. And Michael Keane has shown multiple times this season that he's just, I don't know what it is. He's just got red mist in him.
I think all of that back four have I mean, they have their defensive like strengths, but they have issues as well. Like even for the Mane goal, like the three of them just look like they're running in treacle. Like Tarkowski, Jacobs, O'Brien, Michael Keane. I did think their defence wouldn't be strong enough to get them through the season, but I guess they have been heroic defensively.
Well, I mean, it's Brexit ballers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's bang on what it is. And they even acted like it now with their fucking challenges. But yeah, then the Grealish yellow card for sarcastic clapping. It's just
It's just double descent. He got booked a few minutes before and then the ref he came back for more, and the ref and the highlights that I watched were literally visibly shouted at him, "Don't get away! You're not. If you keep talking to me, you're going to end up with another yellow card." And then a few moments later, he sarcastically claps after getting fouled, and you just stupid from Jack Grealish, just stupid.
It's not the time to be doing shit like this either, is it? Like injuries, AFCON. I know we have the FA Cup break, but still going to be missing 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, they almost lost this one as well. Pickford denied Bueno a stunning winner. There was definitely still time in this game when Grealish and Keane had got sent off that Wolves could have found a winner. Obviously, it wasn't a massive amount of time, but there's still time on the clock, and Wolves still dominated the end of that match and had a couple of chances, kind of thing. That, yeah, if Wolves go on and win this game, then you'd be looking at fining Grealish and Keane half a week's wages or something. If that was me, if I was in Football Manager, Grealish would be sent to the reserves for a week or two. Just what are you doing? It's just absolutely stupid.
Think of the fear for you as well if Wolves are up to 9 points now as well.
It doesn't matter. We can we're gonna finish 18th, 19th, or 20th. It doesn't really matter.
But yeah, a strong showing for Wolves, and it's good to see there's a bit of a turnaround there. Okay, and that's all the games for the week then, because I don't want to talk about the.
No, there's at least 2. Well, there's 2 more that we have to discuss. Well, we only have to discuss one.
Yeah.
Man City won, Brighton won. Brighton created loads of chances in this.
Yeah, they did.
They could have won this game. I actually think the penalty kind of comes against the run of play.
I honestly think they should have won it, but my thing is just of course they go there and they take points off City. That mean Arsenal have more of a chance to win Premier League, and keeps them a point above us. Oh, so annoying. But yeah, I can't really fault them. They did look really good in this game throughout, and they should have been probably 2-3-0 up, and they should have maybe even run away with the game. I've got nothing but other things to say about Brighton that are bad. I wanted to make a comment about the 30 supporters that are in the away end there going slightly mental when they score, but it's just sour grapes really.
Yeah. So there's the Doku penalty. I think he's looking for it, but Gomez just comes rushing in and makes contact. So I don't really think you can have too many complaints with it. Brighton chances. There's a gross header. Kadioglu had shot right at Donnarumma, and there's a tap in that Gomez could have had late on. But again, Mitoma's the man who steps up and gets Brighton's goal in this one, and he just makes the space, does 2 defenders, and then curls it in. It's Mitoma at his best.
It really is, yeah. Like I said last week, he's just going to be just in his best form just to play us when we go to the Annex at the beginning of Feb.
Yeah, but did you see the 2 horror passes from Ayari in this match?
Yeah, I mean...
receiving the ball in his box and trying to just, almost play no-look passes and just passes it. First one goes to Silva and the second one goes to Cherki. And as much as Brighton, I think, should have definitely at least deserved a draw, possibly could have won this game, they got away with 2 massive ones there.
Well, this is what I mean. Any other game, City's bury those 2 chances. The Cherki...
Oh, you think if West Ham aren't going there, they're not scoring from both of those?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true, ain't it? But, yeah. Anything else you want to touch on that game?
No. I won't drag you through it too much. We've gone long. I don't know if you have anything to say about Palace 0, Villa 0, but my only note from it was that no one seemed to bring their shooting boots. There were chances, but no one had their finishing boots on. Yeah,
that was it. I mean, for the team we put out, I was actually really impressed by us. So, yeah, but not much else to take from it, and we'll leave it in sad 0-0 corner as usual. Cool. Okay, so yeah, should we enter our predictions for after the FA Cup break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, where are we starting? I think it's a Friday night game, isn't it?
I've got 17th, 19th of Jan. There's a Manchester derby as the early kickoff.
Why not? I think there's a Friday night game. But yeah, cool. Okay, starting on Saturday, 3:00 kickoffs. Got Chelsea Brentford, another West London derby. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
Brentford away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Desmond. Let's go early doors Desmond.
I had Desmond in my head, but I definitely think draw, but I think 1-1. Cool. Leeds, Fulham and Ellen Road. That's a hard one. Mate, why are these so hard? It's because every team in that little pocket, it's hard to think what's going to happen. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. I don't know why.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Liverpool, Burnley. Probably a hearty performance from Burnley, but probably 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think you're right. 2-0.
Cool. Sunderland, Palace. First time for me going to Stadium Blight. Really looking forward to it. 4-0 Sunderland.
Yeah, 3-0 Sunderland.
Fucker. What's the next game? Spurs, West Ham. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to predict for that. 5-0 Spurs.
Probably. Yeah, 2-0 Spurs, and Kudus is going to score both of them and be a snake.
If you lose to... I'm sorry, mate. I've been badgering on about this for weeks now. But if you lose to QPR and Spurs, what's going to happen?
We're going to.
Yeah, but people are just not going to turn up. People are going to set the place on fire. Like, Nuno can't be there after that, can he?
We're going to take effigies of Karen Brady and David Sullivan to the stadium and burn them on the taxpayers' pitch. Like,
God damn it! Cool. Then next late kickoff on the Saturday, Forest Arsenal. I'm going Forest 1-0. I'm gonna try and manifest it.
It could be a memorable one, but based off the Forest that I've just seen, I don't see them getting anything. I'm going to go Arsenal 2-0.
Nice, cool. Then Sunday games, 2:00 kickoff, Wolves Newcastle at Molineux.
Interesting one that now. Probably more interesting than we would have said a couple of weeks ago, but obviously Newcastle don't travel that great still.
I've got a feeling of it. I want to say 0-0, but I don't think Wolves could get the 0 against Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't think Wolves are keeping them out,
no.
And I don't think Newcastle necessarily are going to keep Wolves out. To be honest, I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle win.
I was going to go 2-1, but I think 3-1. I just think Newcastle, if they get 1, they'll probably get a couple. Cool. Villa, Everton. From the Villa I saw at Sellers Park, it must be a hoodoo we have over them or something. They were not that good. Like, they really weren't. Like, we weren't either, but they weren't. They weren't very good. But I still think they'll probably turn on against the depleted Everton now with red cards and injuries in AFCON. I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
Yeah, I agree. They weren't good against you, but I think they've been so good in recent weeks. And at home, I'm going to go 3-1 Villa.
Cool. And then the South Coast derby, which isn't a derby or a rivalry. Brighton, Bournemouth. I think I'm looking at 3-0 Brighton here. I think Bournemouth might have a bit of a crush down to earth with losing Semenyo.
This is like two posh gentlemen going for a cup of tea rather than a rowdy football match in it. Yeah. Brighton, Bournemouth. I'm going to go for another Desmond 2-2.
Nice. Cool. Okay, that's us done. That's us done for...
A week. You get a week off, everyone. Well done if you have listened to every episode. Absolutely, thank you. We cannot thank you enough. I'm sure it's been a slog at times, but you get a week off our dulcet tones and lucid thoughts.
It really is that, isn't it? It has been a slog. I don't think we really understood how heavy the Christmas period would be, and yeah, I kind of understand now why people I listen to on podcasts struggle or take a break, or the content gets a bit odd throughout it. Like, it has been hard finding.
Yeah, we might have to recruit some ringers for next year so that we can rotate the squad, because seeing your face every couple of days, mate, I'm about ready to jump out the window. So
hey, I'm going on holiday next Christmas. You could do it by yourself.
That's great. I love talking to myself.
Cool. Anyway, like Tom says, thank you if you've made it through all of that. But yeah, feel free to rate and review the pod, tell your friends, and as usual, socials. Have your say, send us in any voice notes or comments you may have, or anything from games. Happy to chuck it up on the Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other FC Podcast, and email in at other14podcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise, Tom, have fun with the FA Cup weekend. I'm yeah, I'll catch you in 7-8 days. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, have a nice little break.
See you.
Cheers.